John alluded to an important focus of Britpave, which is right from the beginning, and that's building relationships with major clients. And I'm delighted to say that we've got two speakers now from National Highways. The first of which is Lila Tachtsi, who's going to talk about the priorities for the roads programme, and this is something that is really going to shape all the fortunes of all of us here today. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Lila to the stage and to find out what's going to be happening with the roads programme in the future.
Thank you. Thank you. This is the first time that I'm actually giving a presentation face-to-face since the lockdown, and I've got to say that I was quite nervous because I can't hide behind the screen with all my notes in front of me. I have to wear tight trousers rather than my tracksuit bottom, so I was very nervous. I've been sitting back there for 40 minutes nervous. Now I'm even more nervous because you are all a club and you all know each other, and I'm new to the club, so help me out. Thank you. I was going to say thank you for inviting me. I do need a bit of help because I haven't got a watch, so you need to give me 3 minutes warning, please. But I feel, as you know each other very well, and you keep pointing at each other, that I will introduce myself. I'll take only 30 seconds, but I know about 5 people in this room. My name is Lila Tachtsi. I am a civil engineer. I am a pavement engineer. I have never worked in concrete pavements, but I am a pavement engineer. I'm very proud to do that. I have worked around the world, and in the last 10 years of my career, perhaps a bit longer, I haven't done any pavement design, but I have moved into maintenance, management, and operations, and I am now the Director of Asset Management in National Highways. Very proud to be here and be talking to you. I have been making notes when the previous speaker spoke, so I think what I would like to do really is I would like to respond to the challenges, the points raised. So I want to talk, funny enough, you picked all the right challenges. So I want to talk a little bit about the things that make us tick as a client, as you called us. I want to talk about carbon. I want to talk about digital, and I want to talk about the thing that's very close to my heart, asset management, and what it means for us. Then I've got a second part in the presentation which talks about concrete roads, and my team gave me some very good slides on concrete roads, which I'm not going to cover. I'm going to go through them very quickly, just give you the highlights and the challenges. So here we go. National Highways. We are a new company, we have a new name, we have a new chief executive, we have a new chairman, and we have a new challenge. When I'm at my desk at home, I've got a little card that says National Highways, so that I remember that we're not Highways England anymore. 3 times already, guys, 3 times already this morning. So this is a Highways England swear box. Pound every time someone says Highways England. And I've got, if I had any cash in my wallet, I would have already put a pound in. It's important to us, and it's important to us because it demonstrates change and it highlights change. It's not a secret that we had some challenging times with smart motorways. We are moving on from that. The challenge is still there. We're not closing our eyes, but we're working very closely with the Department for Transport, with our customers, with the support groups to make sure we get it right going forward. And to make the point, sometimes, the press sees only one side of the coin. But we are National Highways, and we have a new chairman who is very much focused on customer, and we have a new chief executive who is focused very much on excellence. It was time for Jim to move on at the end of the road period 1. He is missed greatly, but Nick Harris is very different, and you might spot National Highways, Nick Harris have the same initials. I don't know what that means, but it makes it very easy to write notes from now on. Someone said earlier, actually, I think Joe said it right at the start, that he will not be here. He wasn't here when it started, and he will not be here when this finishes. I don't think this is going to finish. I don't think building roads, maintaining roads, and operating roads is going to finish. And I don't think building, maintaining, and operating concrete roads is going to finish. It might change. Well, it will change, but it will not finish. It will be here for a very long time. finished the second road period with what we consider to be very successful first road period, and we finished with a pandemic, so we couldn't do all the nice things we had planned to do to celebrate the end of the road period one. We started the road period two rather quietly and in the middle of the Smart Motorways Challenge, but we're doing well. We've already completed the first year of the second road period. We're well into planning the third road period, and in fact, I've just seen a couple of papers that started thinking about the fourth road period. So we are maturing and we're changing as an organization. But we had 3 days of conferences, internal conferences last week. We had the leadership conference, so all of the senior leadership went away to hear Nick's plans for the future. Very interesting. Then we had the people managers conference, and we had a wider group of people joining us to talk a bit more about the practicalities. And then we had my leadership team, the asset management leadership team, went away and said, what the hell does it all mean for us? What do we need to do? And I do want to remind you things that make us tick. First of all, our imperatives. Jim introduced the imperatives, and then we didn't speak about them for a while. But our imperatives of safer, customer, and delivery are absolutely what drives us. And Nick reminded us that they served us well, and they continue to serve us well. So you have a role to play in all of that. Safety, absolutely. Customer, absolutely. And, of course, delivery. And you spoke a lot about delivery earlier. But let's not forget our values, because our values are internal facing, but they are how we want to operate and how we must operate. Again, safety, because it's everything we do. Integrity, giving promises that we know we're going to keep and we know we can keep. So things we work with you, things we tell you, it's what we need to keep our promises, and that's integrity. Ownership, taking responsibility for what we need to deliver, not only as a company and not only as individuals, but as a sector, and we want to demonstrate leadership in the sector. Passion, commitment, believe in what we do, believe in what we say, and demonstrate that we want to do work excellence and teamwork, working with each other, and not only internal teamwork, but teamwork across the sector and across other sectors as well, learning from each other, sharing good practice, and so on. So our imperatives and values is what makes us tick. But Nick gave us 3 focus areas, focus priorities, as he called them. And I will tell you what these are, because you've already spoken about them. You must know about them. It is about the environment. It is about environment, sustainability, carbon, biodiversity. It is very, very important focus area. All you have to do is listen to the news, and COP26 around the corner. So the sustainability environment component is very big. Digital, and it was in John's slide, one after the other, carbon and then digital, very big challenge and something that we're really focusing on, and I'll come back to that in a minute. And I was very pleased to hear his third focus area is asset management. And that's because none of the other things that we're talking about can be delivered without actually looking after the asset. So the comments that you made about whole life cost, I would challenge you to think wider, not think about whole life cost only, but think about the life cycle, the asset life cycle, because that brings the carbon element into it as well. So these are our key focus areas, and I'll repeat them again: sustainability with the environment, digital, and asset management. So I have one slide in each one of those 3 focus areas. And I will not read the slides because they will get the slides. Everybody will have the slides anyway. So you can read the detail, and they say all the sort of things that you would expect them to say. But I want to make you think a bit about what the challenge means for you. Carbon, for example. We published our carbon plan. There are significant commitments in this carbon plan. There is recognition that we've already done a lot of work in the carbon area, working with the supply chain, but we have made some commitments. And we made commitments in 3 areas. We committed to become net zero in 3 stages. First of all, by 2030, our own operations to be net zero. Therefore, things like the vehicles that we use, the electricity we use, the way we manage our offices, the sort of things you would expect. No surprises, pretty standard stuff, what you would expect from a responsible organization. The one that you'll be very interested in, maintenance and construction emissions, net zero by 2040. When I went away with my team to think, what are we going to do about this? It is scary. It is really very scary, because to be net zero in what we do in maintenance and operations by 2040, we needed to have started some of that stuff already. So skates on, and we can't do that on our own. So big challenge for you. And yes, you are right. Concrete roads were not popular. I can't remember who said that because I think David said concrete roads were not popular. There is a challenge. There is a challenge about the concrete industry, cement, carbon, and so on. But please see the challenge as an opportunity, because we shouldn't be looking at things as capital investment only. We should be looking at the life cycle. And absolutely, we all know that the best maintenance in terms of carbon is no maintenance at all. So we shouldn't be looking at carbon only as a front cost, but in the life cycle. So it is an opportunity. And I know that you're already working in innovative projects in that. And you're working with us on innovative projects on that, which is even better. So that is the maintenance and construction. That's a big challenge. I know that one of my colleagues later is going to talk about some of the changes that we're making in specifications and so on. But then, of course, it is all about the road user. And I know that that has already been mentioned, but that is the longer term. We did say that we will be supporting the vision that by 2050 we want to have net zero in the way the network is used. I think the important thing to note here is there is a challenge for the road sector overall, not only for the concrete road sector, but the road sector is seen as a big pollutant. And our strategy with the government and our strategy with the Department for Transport, one that the department now supports, is this is not about stop building road. There is still, it makes sense, it is still really important that we invest in road construction in the road sector, but let's see how we're going to make it effective. Let's see how we're going to help the road sector to become efficient with carbon, how we're going to provide the service to the customers that they need to use the network in a net zero approach. So this is the big challenge for you and us together. Then I'm going to talk about digital roads. And I hope some of you, at least, if not all of you, have seen our digital road strategy, a really good document to read. It talks a lot about the future and how digital is important. I don't think that is a challenge that we can ignore. The Digital Road Programme focuses on three elements. Construction, and there is a lot that is done particularly by the Smart Motorway Alliance, but all of the teams in major projects, they look a lot about how can we standardize products, how can we make sure that we use digital technology to make road construction more efficient. Big changes there, big changes, and some of them quite scary, and some trial and error, and some innovation, and we're not always getting it quite right, but big focus in that area. The one that is very close to my heart is digital operations, understanding the asset, digital asset management, we used to call it when I was working in consultancy. Don't call it that anymore. There's only one asset management, end-to-end asset management, but understanding the asset, understanding the service it offers through the condition it is in, I think it is going to be more and more important. And actually providing the digital link from construction to maintenance, the handover from our major projects colleagues to our operation colleagues, that is really important. And whether we're going to start putting sensors in the asset, I hope we don't. I don't think we will, not everywhere anyway. Whether we start thinking about how we digitally communicate with the customer, how we digitally transport information or handshake, that now we call it rather than handover, information from one team to another. These are all things that you should be thinking about because they will become more and more important. And of course, the last bit is around the digital customer. How do we communicate with the customer? Will we ever become a company that sells data and information and we don't care about the asset? I don't think we will ever get to that point. But I think there has to be more emphasis on how we use the data that we have to communicate with our customers and let our customers communicate with us and us with our supply chain. But this is the big one. This is the one that brings it together. Nick was asked at the end of the conference, the leadership conference, was the last question that he was asked. So Nick, he was asked by Commercial and Procurement Director, by the way. He was asked, what are we? Are we a customer organization, as Jim used to say, or are we an asset management organization? And Nick gave an answer that I liked. He said, we are an organization that owns an awful lot of assets, very expensive assets. In fact, our accounts we have the most valuable asset in this country after defense. So in terms of asset valuation, the road is a very expensive asset, a very valuable asset. He said, we own a lot of assets and we need to look after the assets to deliver an outcome. Please do keep that in mind. We are not an organization that simply builds, maintains, and operates assets. We are doing it because we want to deliver an outcome to our clients. And whether that is noise, as we heard earlier, whether that is sustainability, whether that is carbon, we are all there not just to build roads because they look beautiful, and some of them really do. We are building roads and we're maintaining roads because we want to deliver a good outcome to our clients, because the economy and the social well-being of this country does rely on a good transport system. So, asset management, we call it transformation. Asset management is all about change. Our vision for the asset management transformation program is that we work end-to-end, that we stop thinking in silos, we work collaboratively, and if I was to pick one word from the conference, the leadership conference, was collaboration. Everybody wants to work collaboratively. What we don't quite do yet, now I feel bad because this gets recorded, we don't quite work collaboratively, but we talk about it, and perhaps that's the first step. However, what I also know is that we do work collaboratively now with the industry. There were references to clients earlier. Someone said, I think John said, clients listen. Clients don't just listen, clients ask. If you see us as a client, we are asking for your help and we're asking for your collaboration, because all of those, end-to-end asset management, digital, carbon, we can't do it on our own. We can only do it as an industry altogether. This is a really big challenge. This really is a transformation period for us as National Highways. I think this is the first part of my presentation where I wanted to tell you what makes us tick, what are our priorities, what we're thinking. I do have some slides. Oh, sorry, that is the transformation roadmap. I don't expect anybody to see it, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of reassurance. We have commitments. We are looking at the asset management transformation as a capability building transformation, and we've got capability areas around asset management planning, around digital, we call it asset knowledge, but it's the digital component, about investment planning, the strategic thinking, something that we originally called design for maintenance, but people didn't like that, so we don't know what we call it now. We call it designing and maintaining for sustain. We need to get a better name for that. But it's all about capability building, and for every year we have commitments of delivery, so this isn't a wishful thinking. We have commitments to the ORR and DFT, and therefore we are delivering that transformation program. Do have a look at the task when you get time. Do get in touch with us. Now, the Concrete Roads program, I think you know all about it. There is a slide that I like here. Concrete roads have served the country well, and they will continue to serve the country well. We are not walking away from it, absolutely not. But we are changing. Carbon is a really big challenge for you and for us, and we do need to think about what we're going to do about it. We do have the Concrete Roads program, so for the current road period, we've got 400 million investment, commitment, work has already started, but there's a lot more to come in the second road period. Some of the key characteristics of the program: technical assurance, and we talked earlier about self-certification. Construction, quality of construction is a thing that's going to come more and more out of us, team, because we do have issues, not referring to concrete roads, but in general, we do have issues around the quality of construction. And of course, research. The next steps are all about innovation and research, and we're very pleased that you're part of the team that is working on innovation. We work very closely with you on that. But our biggest challenge is one that John brought at the end of his presentation. It is skills and people, where we struggle. We've got the Center of Excellence. We struggle to find the right people to come and join the Center of Excellence. I'm struggling in my pavements team to get experienced people. We are struggling overall with skills. And it's not only pavement engineers or concrete specialists. We are struggling with the wide range of skills that we need to deal with carbon, digital, and asset management. So to me, this is one of our biggest challenges. And I am really pleased to hear when John put up the challenges on the slide that I recognize all of those, so at least we're speaking the same language. Very pleased with that. So if I was to conclude, I hope I explained to you what is important for us. We want to be known as excellent in what we do to maintain and operate the strategic road network in England. we want to be proud of the work that we're doing with our supply chain. We want to be leaders, and to do that, we can only do it if we work collaboratively. So the work to take away, I wrote down the words to take away. Innovation, we absolutely want to work with you on innovation, absolutely want to work with the industry collaboratively, and we absolutely want to work with you to develop the skills and the people that can take us to the next stage. I'm not going to attempt to say anything technical. If you have any technical questions, I can't answer them. But I've got two members of our excellent pavements team, Paul and Neng. Neng is going to speak straight after me. Please wave. Technical questions to them. Any more general questions to me? Thank you very much.
Thank you.